Today we'll be talking about an instructional strategy, and that instructional strategy is called multiple intelligences. So those are visual, musical, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, naturalistic, and interpersonal. So distinct forms of human talent that have biological roots and are valued in one or more cultures is a multiple intelligence. That's the definition, and it was identified by Howard Gardner. Currently, those identified are, as I said before, linguistic, mathematical, logical, bodily kinesthetic, musical, spatial, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic. So let's talk about linguistic. Linguistic intelligence means a person uses words and learns language easily and well. This refers to an individual's ability to analyze information and produce work that involves oral and written language. So if you have a student like this in your classroom, activities that could stimulate this student would be create stories to share, keep a journal, create a magazine or article, have debates and discussions, write poetry, write book reviews, or word of the day. So this would be important to think about if you have students like this in your classroom. Then we have students that may think logically and mathematically. This would be identified by saying that the student thinks scientifically, processes data spontaneously and quickly. The student might have the ability to develop equations and proofs, make calculations, and solve abstract problems. Activities to stimulate this learner would be playing math games like Mancala, dominoes, chess, checkers, and Monopoly, searching for patterns in classroom, outside, etc., making up analogies, designing alphabetical and numeric codes, solving puzzles, and measurements and surveys. Then we have bodily kinesthetic learners. These learners control physical movement with special grace or precision. Also, using one's own body to create products or solve problems would be this intelligence. Students that have this intelligence, activities you could use to stimulate these learners would be hands-on activities, gardening, dancing, taking a hike or nature walk, scavenger hunt, physical activities like rolling, climbing, jumping, modeling clay, or building with Legos. Really anything to get them moving because they have that special intelligence with their body and their movement. And if you link education to their movement, these students will latch on to that information much easier. Then we have learners that have a musical intelligence. Musical intelligence looks like uses songs or tunes, sounds, and rhythms. Musical intelligence enables individuals to produce and make meaning of different types of sound. So activities that would stimulate learners like this would be to write and recite poetry, perform dance routines to represent important events, create songs and raps about concepts, or to perform sound and vibration experiments in science. So musical intelligence basically means you have a connection to the sound around you, and you can use that to help students learn better. Then you have spatial, so this is using visual cues well to design, navigate, draw, etc. Allows people to comprehend maps and other types of graphical information, so you're understanding the space around you. Activities that could stimulate students that understand the space around them and how to use it would be to play matching games, do a tangram, exposure to map reading, play Tetris, make 2D and 3D models with toothpicks and Play-Doh, etc., or to illustrate your notes. These are important because all of these things incorporate the space around you, but also seeing 3D space even on like a 2D piece of paper or even in your mind. And students with spatial intelligence have a much easier time at this. Then interpersonal skills is also an intelligence. This looks like interpersonal intelligence means a student perceives the feelings and needs of others accurately and uses that information to approach them. It also reflects an ability to recognize and understand other people's moods, desires, motivations, and intentions. Activities that would stimulate these learners would be working in small groups on projects, mentoring or teaching concepts to other students, conducting interviews, team building exercises, and working in pairs. Students with this type of intelligence really take to pushing forward and working with others, and really loves talking to people. So having multiple opportunities for students to do that will be important. Then there's intrapersonal skills, and these skills are knows one's feelings and needs well and uses that to make sense of the world. People's ability to recognize and understand other people's moods, desires, motivations, and intentions. So intrapersonal means the student is very good at looking in on themselves and understanding their feelings, but also being able to look at others and know what they're feeling as well. Activities that would help to stimulate these learners would be keeping a journal, for that reflection aspect, writing an autobiography, working independently, rewrite a story from their point of view, making a scrapbook for poems, papers, and reflections, writing goals for the future, or writing reflective papers on content area topics. So these students are very aware of their own emotions, are very reflective and introspective, and they have that interpersonal skill that they can reflect on their own learning, and they can reflect on themselves. And then you have students that have a naturalistic intelligence, and this intelligence recognizes the elements and systems of the natural world, the ability to identify and distinguish among different types of plants, animals, and weather formations found in the natural world. Activities that would help stimulate such learners would be collecting items from nature, going on a nature walk, math problems featuring plants or animals, cultivating plants, caring for classroom pets, observing natural surroundings, or organizing playground cleanups, recycling drives, and beautification processes. So these are the different types of intelligences, and it's important for us as teachers to understand these different intelligences because every student is different, and every student will have a different strong suit that they fall into. And having different types of activities, different types of games, writing, math, incorporating these different concepts and ideas helps to reach every student, but it also helps to teach every student that they have something that they are intelligent about, that they understand, that they can feel in themselves, and it gives every student their own ownership of their learning. And these are our references. If you have any questions or want to learn more, go to www.literacynet.org, because this is where we got a lot of our information about multiple intelligences and its importance.